He became the first champion of the Summer Olympic Games, representing the independent Kazakhstan in the international arena. In 1996 in Atlanta, Greco-Roman wrestler Yuriy Melnichenko won the gold, which is and remains the only one gold in the modern history of this sport in Kazakhstan. Since his Olympic triumph, Melnichenko has changed his sports status and position many times. First, he became a coach and a trainer after being an active athlete. Then the director of the Olympic Training Center. Since 2004, Yuriy is the vice president of the Federation and the Wrestling Association of the Republic of Kazakhstan. However, despite the high position and the office work, Melnichenko is still active, always full of energy. My whole life is given to sport and to the physical culture. We all started to be involved in sports at school on the physical culture lessons. Then you continue to be in the sport. First it's like a hobby. After some time it turns into a professional sport, and at the end of a career you don't have a lot of options, so you continue to do what you can, trying to stay in shape. To maintain active lifestyle is a basic rule for Yuriy. He has stuck to that rule since his childhood, and now he's trying to spend every day doing exercises. Running from 2 to 10 kilometers or going to gym as a warm-up. It is not necessary to go to gym or to have some racetracks at home. You can simply go outside and run in the park or somewhere else. You can work out anywhere. When I was an athlete, these kinds of exercises were like a warm-up to me before the main training, and now it is enough for me to just stay in shape. I'm trying not to eat too much, to keep my diet and to visit gym when it's possible. If there is no gym around, you can turn your apartments into that. You can provide yourself some kind of a sport area in any room. Yuriy began to develop many healthy habits in early childhood. I was in my first training camp when I was around 7 years old. It was on one of the shores of lakes located near the city. The training camp combined many activities: physical education, sports, and some general physical exercises. During this training camp we could learn how to fish. So when I was 7 or 8 years old, it was my first time fishing.
И поэтому где-то вот в этом возрасте, там 7-8 лет, мне впервые вообще довелось с этим делом соприкоснуться.
Active lifestyle is good for health, and if you are surrounded by friends and family, it is also a good vacation for the soul. We are going fishing quite often. When there is such an opportunity, we take rods, baskets and going into the woods or to the river just to hang out and chat. Yuriy is active everywhere, at work and on vacation. I met Yuriy in 2014. He is the general manager PPSK. He leads a very active lifestyle. He loves to participate in all of our events. Also, he has a very responsible attitude towards the organization of activities and preparations. He takes part in everything, he needs to know everything. I really like this part of his character because it shows that he is genuinely interested and devoted in the activities. He is promoting a healthy lifestyle to the masses. He has so much energy that he energizes you too. He is full of enthusiasm, very charismatic person.
Настолько много энергии, да, что на самом деле вот он увлекает вот этим своим задором, запалом. Очень харизматичный человек на самом деле.
Yuriy has learned to make decisions by himself and to implement ideas when he was 7 years old. That's when he has chosen his sport. I was changing different physical activities at school, a little bit of gymnastics, a little bit of football, a little bit of swimming. That's how I came to the wrestling class.
Оказался в секте.
It happened when I was in the first grade. Everything that was happening in the wrestling hall was fascinating me. I liked every previous sport that I've been going to, but the wrestling was everything that I ever wanted.
Увлекло немножко больше. Мне каждый из этих видов предыдущих нравился по-своему, но
And perhaps the key factor for me was that at the end of my second or third month of studying, the school was inviting children to the training camp.
моих занятий
And this training camp helped me to understand the sports system and to completely drown in this sport.
я уже полностью целиком окунулся в спортивную систему.
This system became the basis for all further events in the life of Yuriy Melnichenko.
Для меня вот такие точки роста
It all meant a lot to me, like my first victory in 1990 at the Soviet Union Championship among young men in the city of Sverdlovsk,
среди юношей.
and the selection of the team of the Soviet Union, and nearly after 4 months' performance on the Youth World Cup in Tel Aviv.
Выступление на юношеском первенстве мира в Тель-Авиве.
Yuriy has claimed his first major victory at the competitions in Israel when he was 18. And at the same age, Melnichenko receives the title Master of Sports of the Soviet Union.
На следующий год я уже как бы закрепил.
The following year, I kind of secured such an achievement. At the Junior Championship of the USSR and the World Championship in Czechoslovakia, and literally in a few years, I was able to join the ranks of the adult athletes because of my good condition. I was well prepared.
Спортсменов.
Olympic gold is a dream and a goal of every true athlete. Yuriy walked towards this goal with confidence. In 1994, 2 years before the Olympic Games, he wins 3 significant victories at the World Championships and at the Junior World Championship in Finland.
Очень сильно мне помогло то, что еще были такие
Competitions like the Asian Games has helped me a lot at that time.
приняли в 1000.
There are still these kinds of competitions now.
И чем хороши эти соревнования,
They are good because they gather all the best athletes, and the format of the games perfectly matches the size of the Olympic Games.
по формату проведения Олимпиады.
Athletes are coming, living in the Olympic village, and from this very moment they are completely involved in the competition.
Деревни. И вот с этого момента полностью
There are also a lot of unusual moments for athletes in these kinds of events.
соревнования. И много необычного как бы в этом формате, потому что там много торжественности, много всевозможных там необычных для спортсменов моментов.
The Kazakh team took the 4th place in the competition. Sports passions in the struggle for medals, and a very high willing of each participant to win is a great start on the way to the Olympic podium.
На момент того, когда я попал уже на
At that time, when I got to the Olympics, I roughly knew what was going to be. It is the Asian continent, it is the world space, it was familiar to me. Advices of my teammates who were at the Olympics previous year have helped me a lot. There is such an outstanding Armenian wrestler, Alfred Termokchan, the guy who is 1 year older than me. He is the world champion of Europe and silver medalist of the Olympic Games in Barcelona. And when he returned from the previous Olympics, I spent a lot of time communicating with him. He brought me up to speed, advised me on what I should pay attention to, and thus I went to the Olympics fully prepared. And I enjoyed it very much. His advices helped me psychologically.
Мне это очень сильно помогло психологически.
Yuriy came to the Olympics in Atlanta with confidence. He was at the peak of his career. He was sure that there are no irresistible obstacles for him.
Я был готов побеждать у любого спортсмена.
I was ready to win any athlete in my weight category, regardless of what part of the tournament we would meet to fight. I was completely focused during the fights. They were controlled by me from the beginning.
То есть я полностью контролировал от начала до конца весь ход поединка.
Winning at the Olympics in Atlanta was a goal of a lifetime for Yuriy Melnichenko at that time. And when this goal was achieved, he was ready for new victories, and not just in sports.
У Юрия Мельниченко есть масса хороших качеств, которые хотелось бы выделить.
There are plenty of good qualities in Yuriy Melnichenko, but I would like to highlight a special quality that impresses me. It is thoroughness in everything he does. He has a thoroughly pedantic approach to any business. And I think he is so successful now because of this quality. He has achieved great results in the sport because of that. And now, as a sport manager, he implements all his creative ideas that he has.
И сейчас как спортивный менеджер претворяет все эти креативные, творческие идеи, которые у него есть.
The Olympic gold followed by a series of victories: the World Cup, Asian Games and other international tournaments. In 2000, Yuriy decided to end his career as a sportsman and he started to coach. Olympic cycle from the Sydney Olympics to the Beijing Olympics. I worked as a head coach for 4 years back then. It's a full Olympic cycle. My colleagues and I have prepared our team. Overall, we took the 3rd place at the Olympic Games in Athens. George Tsutsumi won the silver medal, Mkita Manukyan won the bronze medal, some athletes were at the top 6. Thus, the density of our achievements has allowed the Kazakhstan team to successfully perform at the Olympic Games. There are different situations during the trainings. He can be rough and he can be funny and support you if needed. He has his own way of coaching. We consider him as a friend, coach, brother and father. I have not met anyone with such a character that Yuriy Vasilievich has. Coaching is followed by social activities. During the 6 years, Yuriy Melnichenko represented Wrestling Federation as its vice president. He was then the director of the Olympic Training Center, and he was coaching and preparing a reserve national team of Kazakhstan for 4 years. Since 2013, I'm a member of the professional Astana Sports Club, which brings together the best sports teams in our country under the Astana brand. Yuriy is always happy to share his experience with the younger generation of athletes. He regularly conducts trainings and workshops. I believe that only the chosen people can be good in coaching. The coaches that have spent their entire lives doing what they love. And our job is to help them, provide them with maximum assistance and to grow our champions at different levels. At home, Yuriy Melnichenko is growing his own champions. 10 years old daughter Alina and 8 years old son Timur. Alina is involved in sports. She's a rhythmic gymnast. She's a pretty good performer, a real athlete. This is why I highly recommend a healthy lifestyle to everyone. Because by example, as a parent, I can say, through regular exercises and sports, a shy girl turned to a fully confident person. My son is genetically has a lot of qualities, but for now he doesn't have systematic trainings. He is not very disciplined and devoted, but I feel it will change in the process of growing and they both will become fully fledged citizens of our country.
Я чувствую, мы это все совместно наверстаем, и у нас будут действительно такие полноценно развитые граждане нашей страны.
And if in the future the children will choose professional sports, their father, the Olympic champion, will not be against it.
Все дети по-своему талантливы.
I think that all children are talented and they are not particularly different from each other. I believe that the coach is the one who can inspire them and reveal all their qualities. I would like a kid to realize what he wants, whether it is in wrestling or in any other sport. Let it be a child's choice. As a parent, I will try to share my knowledge with them, but after all, it is their job to accept and understand it.
Каким образом он этим воспользуется и во что это трансформирует, это как бы будет его уже задача.
Yuriy Melnichenko clearly sees his goal for now, to defend the sport honor of Kazakhstan and to continue the winning tradition of the country.